I'm explaining to when the classic man is a danger to you. And me too, tatted on my forehead. Go home, go to bed. I dread something we get this way come. When the family unit is overrun, when the structure is undone by some new concoction. Now I walk softly and carry a big stick.
Welcome back to the Franchise Podcast. I'm Joe Rigo. With me is my brother TQ.
Oh yeah, I'm in the building. You in the building. We in the building. We back.
Better than ever at that.
Oh my goodness.
It was a perfect weekend for us.
Better days, man. It's better days.
Hey, I think I know a guy who wrote a song called Better Days.
Yeah, for another time. We're going to talk about that.
Another time. It really was a perfect weekend for us. I'm going to explain to you guys why. Okay, first of all, UNLV won.
Yes.
Secondly, USC won.
Yes.
Thirdly, all of our NFL teams won.
All of them.
And basketball season's here.
Boy, listen. I couldn't feel better right now. It's been a great day, a great weekend. I saw some things this weekend from our beats and our favorites that make me feel like we got some hope for the future, man.
All right, let's start there.
Last couple of weeks, it's been kind of a cloud hanging all over everything with a big donuts.
No, that's just for you, not for other people.
In front of a certain record for our home team here in Las Vegas. And that's over now.
Well, let's talk about that. So this weekend, we went to the game. I was up in the press box, and you were actually shooting the game.
Yes.
You shot in the video for the highlight reel, and then you shot a bunch of pictures.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm getting my feet wet. Getting my feet wet.
Hey, wet. That's another song I know somebody wrote.
Oh yeah, we hitting them today, ain't we?
Yeah. Hey, it's coming out.
Yeah, man. But I did the video this week, and boy, it's a trip. I talked about it before. Just having a perspective of being on the field as a musician, right? As a musician and an engineer for myself, like your ears, you just have a trained ear. Your ear is just different. You hear things differently. So with all the different things going on in a football game, like it's just an overload. Like they talk about it as being the ultimate team sport.
Right.
Like it's the ultimate team sport to put on the event. You know what I'm saying? Like across the board. So the amount of things that you just hear, I feel like between the Charger game and this game. So now I've shot 2 this season, and I have watched 2 this season. The 2 that I shot were actually division games. And I think I'm learning a lot. I'm learning a lot about this team.
What I want you to do, and this is for Raider Nation now, that this is someone that has been on the sidelines. You can hear what's being said without giving away secrets.
Right.
What do you see that is maybe different from years past? Because you also were on the sideline, I think, last year, when you were in the Credit One suite. Yes. And then I know the last game in Oakland, you were up there for that.
Right.
So you've seen the difference between the Gruden era and now the McDaniels era.
Yeah.
What is something, or what are the things that you see that's a little bit different now than, and maybe could, open up some eyes to some of the issues the Raiders have had versus what the perception is, because the normal person isn't able to be on the sideline and hear some of the conversations that's being taken place between coaches and players and players amongst each other.
Right. I would say not completely comfortable with the schemes yet on both sides of the ball, more so than anything. I look at years past, you look at Derek Carr, for instance. That was the first stretch. That Gruden era was the first stretch of him being able to get into that third year of an offense, right? It was clicking for him. Now I believe there's some uncertainty because, number one, this is the hardest offense to learn in the book, to learn in the league. I've heard that from various players that have spoken about this, and ex-players, commentators across the board. And second of all, they just don't have a command of it yet. And I think that a lot of these play calling issues that we experienced the first couple of weeks of the year, some of that might have been out of necessity, based on just there not being that comfortability there of just kind of knowing what to do. I think these things are going to have to work themselves out throughout the season. I also believe that not playing in the preseason at all contributed to not being able to see this offense at work with game speed. You know, some of this stuff is just, you know, it's the new NFL, but we're going to take our lumps early in the season.
So are you
basically
telling Raider Nation to RELAX?
I don't know if I am. I don't know if I'm telling them to relax because I don't know if I'm relaxed. I had to start thinking about that objectively and say to myself, okay, if I'm able to recognize this from this area where I am here, you got the Chargers and the Broncos who play us 2 times a year.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say that they would recognize it also. I think that they come to play the Raiders in years past, in the last couple of seasons, and say, okay, when we're on defense, we can't make a mistake because number 4 on the other side is a surgeon within this offense. And if we play good defense, we can beat him. If we make a mistake, he's going to kill us. And I don't think they're coming in with that this year. I think that they can recognize that he's not as comfortable in this offense yet also.
What I noticed in the press box was, and I talked a lot about Davante Adams and his targets. What I seen a lot of on Sunday, was early in the game, Patrick Surtain II was singled up on Davante Adams. They didn't roll coverage. Later in the game, they started to roll Kareem Jackson, the other safety. They started bracketing him in doing different things. But early in the game, I'd say about 70 to 75% of the game, he was single covered. That's from me in the press box looking down. But you did point something out to me after the fact.
Yeah, because I feel like they are trying to bait Derek Carr into that pass. Like they want to fool him to make him think that Davante is not being bracketed when he is. And I think the difference is Davante Adams, you, Green Bay fans, Aaron Rodgers, you guys think that he's open, right?
We've seen it all the time like
Okay.
that.
Derek Carr and Josh McDaniels do not think that he's open because that's a pass in that situation that only Aaron Rodgers can make. Maybe Justin Herbert. I seen him make a couple of them too, but like only the best people that have ever thrown the ball could throw that pass. And if Derek Carr throws it, it might get intercepted. And I don't think that's that big of a problem. I never looked at Davante Adams coming here to be as all world as he showed himself to be in Green Bay. I think that the competition is going to be more. I think he's going to be playing against better defenses and offenses across the board. I also think that hey, it's not an elephant in the room. Everybody understands. I think Derek Carr understands. He's not the quarterback that Aaron Rodgers is. Nobody is the quarterback that Aaron Rodgers is. So we need to temper down the expectation that he needs to force the ball to Davante when there are 1 or 2 other players on the field that are single covered. And Mac Hollins is telling you, he's showing you, you better get somebody to help you with me.
Man, that if he would have got that foot down, you got a great video of that, by the way.
Yeah.
If he would have got that foot down,
Man,
that would the stadium erupted.
yes, it did.
And and not only that, Mac Hollins, I think outside of AJ Colling and Daniel Carlson, he is that guy on special teams.
Yeah.
Like I love watching him on special
Yeah,
teams,
for
like
real.
going down and detonating the ball, and
Yeah, man. Yeah, he
they
knows
got
how to
something
do
in
it.
him.
He knows how to do it. I think that once Renfro gets back, it's so many people to distribute the ball to, man. And like, what's gonna beat this early Davante Adams problem, if you want to call it that? At the end of the day, the man got what? What was his numbers? He had like 100 and 100 yards.
In this game.
Yeah, what was it?
I don't think he had 100 yards. I don't know offhand.
He didn't?
No, I think he got off to
He
such
got
a
a
hot
lot
start.
of targets though.
But no, but again,
Caught the ball a whole lot of times in this game.
the reason why I didn't complain about anything about him this game,
Yeah.
Fourth quarter, that last drive,
Yeah.
he made a couple big catches because he was
did.
targeted. And that was my biggest complaint, was in those critical situations, your best players have to have the ball. And he is your best offensive weapon.
But you know why he got the ball? Do you know why he got the ball? You know why he was targeted during those times? Because everybody had to come up.
And play to run.
Josh Jacobs was running that rock.
Okay.
Got to give him the rock and let him get between. Hey, this is what we're finding out. Andre James, Colton Miller, and what's the kid that they just moved? They moved him to guard. He was playing center the last 2 weeks, and they just moved him to guard for this last game.
I know who you're talking about offhand.
Okay, those three, I think we can solidify them. Got to work on the other two. Got to work on the rotation.
And you got the rookie.
Is that who I'm talking about?
I believe it is.
Whoever it is. He was playing center. That ain't the spot for him. They moved him over to guard, and you see what happens. Andre James is the anchor. I think he's comfortable in that position. Let's solidify him right there. You know Colton Miller does what he does. The offensive line is holding their own. We thought they was going to be a huge problem. I don't think they're going to be as big of a problem as I thought they were going to be at the beginning of the season.
Now, I'm a man that I feel like I'm fair.
You say this.
I look at things. No, I look at things and I try to find the most fair way for everybody and
Unless
everything.
he's talking about the Packers.
Go ahead. No, you know what?
I didn't know you was listening. I didn't know you heard me say that.
I'm not like you. I don't have blinders on.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Anyway, Derek Carr this week played the type of game that I think Raider Nation should expect going forward. That should be the expectation of Derek Carr this past game. You seen him make throws. You seen him take some chances. But what I like most about what he did this weekend was Derek Carr, when the time needed him to, he ran and he didn't run to get out of bounds. He ran, and in the fourth quarter, he dove for the first down.
Yes.
And he held on to the ball.
Yes.
That is the Derek Carr that Raider Nation wants. That's the Derek Carr that Raider Nation needs. Yeah. I got no problem with how he played this weekend. He started off, I believe, in second quarter or so. It was a rough quarter for him, but he picked it back up and he looked good. So
the key to everything, run the rock, man. Run the rock. At least try. This offense is built to adjust over the course of the season to each team that it plays. I don't think that there needs to be a run first or pass first philosophy. I think that needs to change every week. And I think that the running back room is good enough. The wide receiver, tight end room is good enough, and the quarterback is good enough for that to happen. So, but that being said, hey man, the running backs and the middle of that offensive line, they can get dirty. You got to at least try them because they was knocking the Broncos backwards. Josh Jacobs, you don't want to take the first lick from him. It ain't fun. He got that low center of gravity. He got powerful legs, and he's looking to run you over.
Right.
He likes it. I felt like him and Derek Carr in the warm-ups, they was the most like tuned in. You could tell they came to do something. I feel like they absolutely knew the plan today, or the plan Sunday was to bully the Broncos.
Well, that's what you got to do, and they got to do it this week against the Chiefs. Now, with the Chiefs, defense comes first when you're the Raiders in this game.
For sure.
And Denzel Perryman had a play this week that we talked about earlier without the cameras on, where he shot through the line in, I want to say it was the first half.
Yeah.
And Amik Robinson went low on the running back, but he came high and finished him off. But the way he shot through that, it was a perfect angle.
Yeah.
Perfect angle tackle with just a bunch of pissed off-tivity. Okay. Yeah. And laid him out. Unfortunately, he went out with a concussion. The Raiders did sign Blake Martinez, who's very familiar with the defense. He played in it the last couple of years in New York.
Yeah.
But Denzel Perryman, and you're explaining to me why you think he's the X factor on defense.
Yeah, man. I mean, but we can't forget he's a Pro Bowler. He was up to these shenanigans last year, and he turned the defense around. He is the defensive coach, 100%. He is a coach on the field for this defense. Because honestly, I don't. It doesn't look like to me that they've grasped the scheme completely yet either. So they got some growing pains on their side. But he is playing Madden with our defense. He's in the middle. He's barking out. He's telling everybody where they need to be. I saw him physically put players in the right position. And it makes Devon Diablo better. It makes Trayvon Merrick better. And it makes Nate Hobbs better. And those, I feel, are the pillars of the future of this defense.
You brought up Chandler Jones in past conversations.
Yeah.
And this week, again, no sacks, but I seen him being disruptive.
Yeah, he is. He was being disruptive this week. But again, I think that you're going to get the best of Chandler Jones when Denzel Perryman is on the field. I think he's going to be the X factor. And if we have to play Kansas City without him, hey, man, I'm always, I'm never going to give the Chiefs no props, right? But you can't make mistakes against Patrick Mahomes. And I think with Denzel Perryman not on the field, we're susceptible to some mistakes at this point in the season.
What I liked about this defense on Sunday was you seen the little dog in them.
Oh my goodness!
And the littlest dog out there is a guy that Amik Robertson, who you seen. I want you to tell the story about what happened after Jerry Jeudy sunned him.
Oh man! I mean, I don't know if I don't know exactly what he told him. I was trying to read lips a little bit. It looked like it was saying this. He said this gonna happen all day, or you're gonna have a long day, or something to that effect, right? And whatever it was, it pissed 21 off, and he turned into a madman, and it was infectious on the sideline for the offense and the defense. I think he got a little man complex.
No, he does.
I think I can say this because I'm one of those people. And
he got a big little man complex,
and man, he turned into a stormtrooper or something with that, just an assignment. Kill Jerry Jeudy, kill Jerry Jeudy, kill Jerry Jeudy. Like when he saw Jerry Jeudy, he wanted to hit Jerry Jeudy, and he kept on hitting him over and over and over again. And every time he got up and talked shit about it, I was loving it. And I think that changed the whole game. It changed the whole defensive side of the ball. And he's a spark, man. He a spark. He's one of them people on the sideline. When you see him over there acting crazy, I think you get gassed up.
How did Jerry Jeudy react to it? I'm interested.
He got real quiet till he caught that touchdown. Then he got to acting up. But for a minute there, Meek had him in his pocket. And I mean, looking at him next to each other, you could see why Jeudy did the little sun move. You know what I'm saying? Meek is not a big dude at all. He's not a big dude at all.
Plays like a big dude.
But he plays like a huge one. So, I mean, hopefully, he can increase the time that he's on the field, because I think he's one of them guys that just knows how to get to the ball and just can make plays when we need him, man.
Making plays when you need them.
Yes, sir.
That's something that you love to see your defensive players do.
For sure.
And I'm a man, when I'm not right or something changes, I'll be the first to admit it. That's not being prideful. That's knowing yourself enough, having self-awareness.
I don't know I don't know what he's referring to. I've never seen him have anything close to this, what he's explaining. I'm sorry for cutting you off. Go ahead, man.
For the last 2 years, we've been talking about Adam Plant and how he looks the part on the UNLV defense.
Oh, yeah.
And I felt.
What did you feel, young Joe?
That he was more concerned about getting sacks than playing his role in the defense. And you can't hold on, let me finish. You can't disagree, because it's true. That's what it looked like 90% of the time.
That's to you.
And that's frustrating. But this season, I don't know if it's Keith Hayward coming in as the UNLV defensive coordinator and the scheme that he put in. I don't know if it's Adam changing the way that he plays, But APJ
Man, look, man.
balling, and what he did on Friday night against New Mexico, he was on that defensive line, and everybody in that line played their asses off. But he was a one-man wrecking crew against the Lobos. He was hitting the quarterback every time, whether he had the ball or not, running that triple option, laying hat to the point to where you could tell they're like, oh, let's just throw the ball.
You know the difference?
What's that?
Help.
True.
That's the difference. That kid ain't had no help. He been raw. He's been good, but he hasn't had the help. Now you installed the help. He got some help now.
And Bojay, the new D-line coach, is one hell of a D-line coach.
You can see the difference.
100%.
And I think nobody is reaping the benefits of that change. And the change between, just the turnover in the team last year and this year, like APJ is. He gonna wreak havoc all year. That's what I'm seeing. And not only that, I'm over on the sideline and like, gotta do something about number 7. Gotta do something about 7. I'm like, yeah, it ain't gonna be easy. Ain't gonna be easy, man. Yeah, but that's what it's gonna be in the Mountain West all year.
Let me ask you a question.
Figure out how to do something about 7, man.
I've been asked this a lot. I've got this a lot on social media in recent weeks. The Hey Rep Pod, Tony and I answered it on Tuesday. UNLV keeps winning. Obviously, collegiate openings at Colorado and Arizona State as we're recording this. There's Wisconsin. There's a few others. And I don't know if Coach Arroyo would leave after this year if he gets an offer. I don't know if he's on the radar. Let me put it to you like that. But
man, we already having this convo.
No, but let me ask you a question. Do you lock him in the coordinators and that staff up to extensions now?
100%, yes.
Before you do lose him.
Well, I ain't gonna say now, but definitely.
Well, I'm talking about towards the end of the year.
Yes, for sure. If they get to a bowl game, literally they win 2 more games, I'm going to talk to him. Like, look here, man, check this out. What can we do? Because I'm a very forward thinking person.
Wait, you're not a revisionist?
No, sir, not in this situation right here. I'm a very forward thinking person as far as this is a chance to change the way UNLV is seen across college football landscape.
Agreed, 100%.
And when I say that, that's by its peers, the other universities and conferences, but also by recruits. And this whole turnover can be the foundation of this thing going forward. These resources aren't going anywhere. They're going to get better and better, and they're going to continue to get better. So this is the guy that turned it around. I'd throw the damn bank at him if I was them.
This is what I find interesting. UNLV has never been in this position at all. I mean, maybe with Tark back in the 70s. And
things
and
have changed since then, man.
Right.
Totally changed.
Right.
Yeah.
So they've never been in this position as a football program. And this isn't one of those, well, we're going to be good this year, but we lose all these seniors and we got to rebuild next year. No, this is like these guys have 2 and 3 and 4 years eligibility left.
Right.
And you have to understand in the landscape of college football now with the transfer portal, let's say Coach Arroyo gets a gig at Arizona State.
Everybody's going with him.
You don't think Doug Brumfeld's gonna be like,
he's out of here.
That's P5. You don't think Aiden Robbins be like, hey, I'm a grad transfer. I could go.
It's a wrap.
You don't think those guys are gonna hit the portal?
Yeah,
so,
man.
I mean, I think Eric Harper, the athletic director, and I think Dr. Whitfield, really need to have a conversation and be forward thinkers and not be reactionary and not just say, oh, well, if he goes, we'll find somebody, because it ain't like that.
Nah, man.
It's not that destination yet.
This group of players is really good together. Right?
Yes.
You got to let them grow together. You got to let them play together multiple seasons so they can be like, by the end of this thing, they could be like Silverado High School. You feel what I'm saying?
Oh, there he goes. There he goes. You're trying to get to high school football already, Squeeze? Like, we get that in a minute.
I'm saying, man, but I like the culture, man. I like the culture change. These dudes look like they out there trying to do something. It seems like they recognize the glory aspect of this. It seems like they see what turning this thing around could do for them.
Oh, they talked to me about that.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like, hey, Joe, if we turn this around,
Yeah,
yeah.
So like that's like a whole, like a player at Ohio State is not thinking like that.
Nah, because they already got a bag.
You know what I'm saying? Player
Or 12. They've had it for like decades.
Stop, bro. We ain't trying to. Come on, man. I'm just saying, like, there's a thing attached to playing football for UNLV right now that I think they could ride to the mountaintop. They can definitely ride it to the Mountain West top.
Look, I'm going to say this. They have a game on Friday against San Jose State.
Mm-hmm.
San Jose State's 3-1. UNLV's 4-1.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the conference, the West, what they're both in, is down.
Mm-hmm.
San Diego State, Coach Drew,
yeah,
his son's a starting quarterback now.
Yeah, you told me.
Liu.
Wow.
And it's like,
good for Liu, though.
Yeah, he came in and he was going to redshirt, and quarterbacks get hurt. Liu starting now.
Fresno State can throw the ball, man. He works.
He can. He's a baller.
Hard. Yeah.
But he's young.
He is very young. Then
you look at Fresno State, Jake Heener and Williams, I'm pretty sure they're done for the year. So there's Boise State is not Boise.
Set up nice, man.
Hawaii and UNR both suck this year.
Sets up nice.
You beat San Jose State.
Yeah.
You control your destiny for the West.
Yeah.
And you very easily are playing for the conference championship.
Hey, man. I'm saying I'm not one to jump the gun.
Hey, you got to be forward thinking.
But no, you jumping the gun. That ain't being
you got to be prepared for everything.
Oh, come on, man.
Failing to prepare is failing to
look at you.
Whatever that goes.
See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying?
Failing to prepare.
You was about to say
preparing
some
to
bullshit.
fail. That's what it is.
So you twisted it all up.
Nah.
Here's the thing. They're a good team. I do not think that they will see their peak this season.
No, they're ascending.
They are an ascending program. If they can keep this nucleus of players together, they're going to be hell to deal with for the next 2 to 3 years.
I'll say this. I think they win the conference.
And I'll tell you this much. I'm sure pulling for them too. I think that this is the best chance that they have had in what?
Ever.
Ever.
Don't sugarcoat it. You Mr. Non-sugarcoat. You try to find a way to sugarcoat it. No, who I was hanging out with during the game and after the game on Friday night.
Who was that?
Besides Timmy T?
Yeah.
Ben Chulik. Ben Chulik is the representative for the Barstool Arizona Bowl.
Okay.
He came to watch UNLV.
Okay.
And came away impressed.
Nice.
He liked the fact they were down and showed enough cojones to come back.
That's what I like. That was my favorite UNLV game yet that I've watched or been on the sideline. That was my favorite one. I just like that there is a feeling that has been there up until this year where they get down that early, they're done.
Yeah.
And across, the whole team, the whole arena, everybody, yeah. Right?
I didn't feel that way, though.
That's what I'm saying. That's not there anymore. The whole same old UNLV thing did not come into my head even once because you see the weapons, man. Not only that, we saw them over the summer in the preseason, the spring. We saw that growth. We saw the culture starting to change with the new guys that came in, the old guys going out. And boy, it's just exciting, man. I'm happy for them. And I think we just at the beginning of what they can end up being. UNLV has to do the work at the end of the season because I honestly believe this is going to be a successful season. I'm not going to forecast whether they win the conference or not. I think they'll be in the game 100%. I do believe they'll be in the game. And if they're in the game, then come on, man. He deserves what he needs to get. Give it to him.
You weren't on the same sideline when Doug had the late hit from Moon, right?
No, I was on the other side.
So I thought, because you were in the south end zone, I believe, filming, and I was on the 25, so it was opposite side of me.
Okay.
And when Doug got hit late, it caused a skirmish. And a few things stood out to me. One, Coach Arroyo went off on the player, told him to get the F over there, and there's no call, there's no point. He's like, get the F out of here. What the F was that? That's bull.
Yeah.
Who the F and he went off and they grabbed the coach.
Yeah.
And then the guy got 2 penalties. There's 2 flags got thrown and then a hack got thrown. If a hack gets thrown, normally the official is basically given, if you're watching, European football, it's 2 yellow cards.
Right. That's what I told Trish. Somebody's about to get out of here.
And so it was all 2 of the flags are for the same thing, which is the late hit out of bounds, which is an unsportsmanlike conduct.
Okay.
The other one was the same player, but that was the unsportsmanlike conduct, like basically taunting.
Right.
So he wasn't ejected.
Okay.
He stayed in the game. So after the game, we're in the bowels of Allegiant Stadium, and I'm by the locker room, and I'm getting ready to go into the media room for coach's press conference. And Doug and APJ were the speakers.
Yeah.
Doug comes out. What's up, bro? He gives me a hug. Give him a hug. It's family, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, what happened with that hit? He goes, bro, let me tell you. I seen him coming. And I'm like, this dude's going to hit me how I get out of bounds. So I braced for it. And when I got hit, I went to the Kyle Williams School of Football. I'm just going to lay here for a minute and get the television timeout.
Yeah.
He was like, I had to let it just chill. And then I see my teammates and the trainers come over and said, I'm good. I pop back up. And then I see coach about to go fight, all the players.
Yeah.
But the thing that stood out besides that was not one of those penalties were against a UNLV player. And that shows the discipline and that shows the maturity of that football team.
Good point. I didn't see exactly what happened or what was said. I knew that, I saw the late hit once they played it on the Jumbotron as a replay. But I didn't know what caused it because from my vantage point, I couldn't see it.
I walked on the field. I ain't gonna lie. Me and I was with David Wedley and Phil Hill, former player. Like we walked on the field, like, hey, what's going on? And then other people went down, their personnel to even some associate ads went down there, kind of like trying to calm everything down.
I mean, it just shows, man. I think they just seems like they're more of a family this year. Seems like they like playing together.
There's not a lot of me.
Right. And there seems to be a lot of accountability with them too. Also, I know I've been on this word, but
constantly.
I mean, it's just listen, man. Listen, the best teams, regardless of sport, regardless of business, across the board, best teams rely on accountability. That's how you hold each other together.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's checks and balances. So, I'm glad that I'm glad that seems to be one of the pillars in Arroyo's culture shock. You know what I'm saying?
I was shocked on Thursday night.
Thursday night?
Thursday night.
What was you shocked about?
Well,
the fact that we was shooting high school football.
There's high school football on a Thursday night, which isn't the norm for us, as everybody knows.
Right. Threw me off last week. But
we get there, and we were approved by the head coach to be on the sideline shooting because that's what we have to do this year.
Right.
And somebody from the school, somebody in the athletic department, I'm not going to say his name.
Yeah.
Vice principal of athletics, came up and was like, yo, like who are you? And I told him. And he's like, me and Ann are sitting there. Like, we're like, what we normally do. We're sitting there about to watch the game. Yeah. Shay Jones is with us, our franchise college basketball writer.
Yeah.
And he asked us like, well, you don't have passes, so you need to go.
Yeah.
And I was blown away because this is the thing. And I respect the fact that that's his job and he's looking out for, I get it. Even if he got shown text messages from the head coach, not the point. Here's the thing that bothers me. And you can tell me to shut up before I get us in trouble.
Shut up before you get us in trouble, please.
We're doing this for the kids.
All right, lean on that.
That's where I'm going. I'm going with. We like you, me, Trish, Ant, Griffin, all of our photographers. Like, we're basically paying because of gas, time. We're not getting paid for this, and we're doing it to bring exposure to the valley.
For sure, that needs to be said. I don't know. Maybe some of these people maybe they don't understand it. This is our high school football coverage for this company is a passion project of ours.
We love it.
Yeah, we played, you coached, you have a relationship with the majority of the coaches in this city.
Yeah.
And the reason why we started doing this was because we come from a place where high school football is just, it gets its place amongst LA sports.
Yeah.
And we felt like that didn't happen in Las Vegas, in a city where it's a smaller population. It should be easier for us to provide platforms for these student athletes, to just get a little bit more for all of the work that they put in. Like, we remember Pop Warner, we remember two-a-days, we remember trying to just having a dream of getting into college and not having to pay.
Some people just having their name in the paper.
That was all we could look forward to. That was all we could look forward to. Now we have the opportunity and the ability with this company to present Las Vegas student athletes in the same way that we can show you Max Crosby and Chandler Jones and Derek Carr.
Doug Brumfield, Ricky White,
right.
and Robbins.
Exactly, across the board. So the fact that this, what we provide, was not available before we started to provide it, you would just think, with all of the love that the kids show us, all of the love that the teams and the coaches show us, that there wouldn't be any roadblocks for us to do our job. And I guess what I'm trying to say here is, all we want to do is help the kids. We don't get paid to help the kids. I wouldn't accept a dime for helping the kids
at all. There's no point.
Like, we have blown whistles on people who do. We've used our program to expose that type of behavior out here in the city. So, I just want to say to the powers that be, and I want to say to the kids, it is our plan to always use our platform to make you guys look good. We want to provide you guys with video, photos, write-ups across the board for you to have access to for the rest of your lives. At some point, you're not going to be you're not going to the NFL. Everybody won't make it to a D1 college. But when you get my age, which you probably ain't even thinking about now, it's going to be barbecues. It's going to be family reunions, conversations.
It could be us just hanging around.
Yeah, and you're going to want to talk about what you did in the state championship versus this school or that school, where you're going to be able to go to Franchise Sports Media at that point and show people what you did.
I got a text from a coach at a Las Vegas high school.
Okay.
And he heard what happened and was like, look, man, I respect what you and Franchise and everybody involved does, your photographers, your writer, you, TQ, Trish, everybody.
Yeah.
And like, we want to make sure that doesn't happen again. And, that meant a lot, having a coach reach out to you, game week and say something like that. And I appreciate that more than he, knows. And so the lady at the school where we were came up to us and was like, who are you guys?
Yeah.
Like, what do you do? And the kid's like, that's Franchise Sports Media. That's Aunt and Joe. That's Prep Rally.
They made y'all sit on the other side, right?
No, we chose to sit on that side.
Okay.
It was out of protest.
Got it.
We were protesting.
Okay.
Like boycotting. Like at that point, like, yeah. And
I mean,
you don't care who wins anyway. It's just
that's not what we're about. But at the end of the day, it's like, hey man, it has been it's been harder this year, like, to do our job for high school football.
You have no idea what my Wednesdays and Thursdays are like.
Yeah, exactly. So but that's not going to deter us from doing our job for the kids
at all.
We want to say that to the coaches and to the players, like, don't worry about it. We are going to continue to be at you guys' games. We're going to continue to support you in every way we can. Continue to use our platform to tell you guys' story and to make you look great on Friday nights. So that's just what it is. We're going to kick whatever doors down we need to kick down to continue to provide what we provide for the city of Las Vegas in high school football, man.
That's why we are the voice of high school football out here.
That's it. That's
and
us.
the eyes and the ears.
Yeah, that's us.
So with that being said, time to go.
You out?
It's time to go. I've been with you too much today. It's just too long.
Oh, so you've been with me too much today, huh?
Yep.
You see how people act? You see how people act? See, his ass was on TV the other night at the UNLV game. He's standing out with a Royal like he's Adam Schefter or somebody. Man, you know what I'm saying? He thought he was fly. You know? So now he wants to say, I've been around you too long today. Whatever, man. Look, this is the Franchise Podcast. We'll see y'all next week.
Original gorilla.